Oh, yeah, bleeder. Anybody else getting panicky? Anybody else getting worried? Nah, of course we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not. Yes, we are. I tell you what, I don't know about how you lot feel, but I think a lot of us are just starting to get twitchy bum time. It is a roller coaster, Leicester City. We've got so much to talk about. We've got, of course, we can look back to the QPR game on Saturday, but we probably need to spend more time looking forward to tomorrow night's match away at Sunderland. What sort of team is Enzo going to pick? Does he need to look at his tactics? Does he need to stop putting square pegs in round holes? Am I seeing things that aren't there? We want your views. We want your comments. My name's Phil. We're live on the Fan Zone show for the next 30 minutes here. We want your comments. Join us and let's try and enjoy the show.
Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, and the Fox's Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening and welcome. Yes, my name's Phil. It's Leicester Fan TV. Don't forget you can follow us on the socials at Leicester Fan TV, wherever you're watching. And for the next 29 minutes, your views count. This is the main place where we can get them on screen. Whatever you want to talk about, we will talk about tonight. Dean says, play Kelechi Iheanacho. He's going at the end of the season, but should he be that guy who perhaps plays in that number 8 role? There's no Ndidi, there's no Kasadi, there's no Dennis Pratt. Played Tom Cannon there on Saturday. Did he, didn't he? I've had a bit of an argument with people that he did. He didn't. I think he played Tom Cannon there. What are you playing your striker in the number 8 role for? Big question. What do you think to that? Good evening, Richie. Hope you're well. Not a good result for Leicester City on Saturday. It wasn't, Richie. Can we turn it around tomorrow? John Towers, good evening, says, a wee bit, Phil, but still confident we can do it. Jono, it's got to be waning a little bit, that confidence, isn't it? Callum says, we need the win tomorrow. Yeah, just a bit, honestly. If we lose tomorrow night and if Ipswich win, we all know we're on the same points. We've got a better goal difference. But there's a chance by Saturday, if Leeds win Tuesday and Friday, sorry, they don't play Friday, they play Saturday at lunchtime, we might not even be top by 3 o'clock away at Hull. Craig says here, roller coaster. I know I am keeping the faith and I love Leicester City. But it is a must-win on there. Bubba, watching out in the States. Good evening, Bubba. Hope you're well. Says, when you're in a hole, the first job is to stop digging. 3 points tomorrow will restore order. We're better away from home. Carlos says, good evening. A little worried, but we'll feel better if we smash Sunderland tomorrow. Saying those famous words that I've been saying all year, where is plan B? I'm not pleased to hear more people saying, where is plan B? But I have been saying it all year. Surely a manager has to manage and have some tactics during a game, has to react to what the others are doing. Liam says it's never an easy ride being a Foxes fan, but still believe we can win the league. Dean is watching on Facebook, says, I'm not worried for an easy 4-1 win. Smiley face, I don't know if you're like holding your breath a bit there, Dean, but he says lots of worrying injuries though. Wouldn't have said this last season, but can't wait till Ndidi is back. He's not there yet. Can't say it, Andy. Or can we say it now? We are now allowed to say it. I'm going to add very, very shortly. I've got 2 guests tonight, Locks and Matt. I'm going to add them both in very, very shortly. So hopefully they're just getting ready to come in. Ben says, no point talking about it. The Italian Rodgers will play the same predictable football and expect something different. I notice there has been a few more people questioning what Enzo is doing. Did he get it wrong on Saturday with how he did it? It's a question. Tony says, I have a bad feeling. Passing does not win matches. Punch through defences. Don't wait for a gap. I think the Enzo ball is all well and good when you're winning. it's when you're not winning that it becomes a question. And interestingly, I watched Burnley play yesterday at home against Palace, and you might go, why is that interesting? Well, for me, I find it interesting because I think Vincent Kompany is another Pep Guardiola, type of manager like Enzo is. And again, Burnley yesterday, they were losing 1-0 at home. I think it was Bournemouth with 5 minutes to go, and they were passing it round the back just like Leicester do. And I'm like, you've got to put it in the box. Anyway, let's add in Matt. Matt, good evening. How are you?
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, good. I'm going to add Locks in just very shortly. But Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Before we get too far, Matt, into it, I just want to introduce who you are and what you do. And Matt is organising, apart from being a massive Leicester fan, we've had Matt on before, but Matt, just talk us through the Leicester Legends event that is definitely now on Friday, the 15th of March.
Well, yeah, back in August, got to know Matt Elliott last year, and we got talking about getting Martin O'Neill and a few of the boys into Leicester to talk about the glory years. And we picked a date, 15th of March, which was, looked good. Southampton at home the day after. We thought, well, they're not going to be challenging very much because they'd lost the first 3 games. Fast forward to about 2 weeks ago, and I get a call that they're going to move the game to the 15th of March, which would absolutely cripple my event. So I was panicking, thinking, what do I do? Move it to a Thursday. Then Matt said the saving grace is if we beat Bournemouth away in the FA Cup weekend, we'll cancel that Southampton. So last Tuesday was a very tense game. I've watched them play in FA Cup finals, League Cup finals, playoffs, and I've, with my profession being a darts manager, watched 2 major finals live, and that's the most tense I've ever been at a sporting event, let me tell you.
Well, we're going to get back onto tomorrow's match, Matt, but this is the event. It is on the 15th of March, which is a week on Friday. The tickets are available there. We'll make sure we've shared the link loads. We're actually going to give 2 tickets away at the end of this show, Matt. We've got 2 spare tickets, thanks to you, to give away at the end. So anybody who's interested in coming, you could just win 2 at the end of this. So one of the things I want everybody to do, if you want to enter that, is like and share this video and make sure you tag your mates in. And then we'll do a quick question right at the end, Matt, to see who's going to win that. Now, I'm going to add Locks in as well. So there's 3 of us here. Locks, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good. We've got loads. We're going to react to what people are putting on the score. For long now, this is Scott says, for as long as Enzo is in charge, there'll never be a plan B ever. Matt, I have been mentioning plan Bs all season. I just, there's sometimes where we watch Leicester and we're talking about Leicester Legends, which always makes me think stick Walshy up top, stick Matt Elliott up top. Yeah. When the going gets tough, I know it's old school football, but as a fan, are we not allowed to ask for something to get us out of when we're losing 2-1 at home against QPR, Matt?
It's a bit similar to Brendan Rodgers as well, really, because he was the same. Never really a plan B, and it seems like we've gone to Enzo, who's very, very similar. What's Peter Taylor doing? Commenting? Should he?
Yeah, he's not on the Legends night. Put it that way.
No, definitely won't be. So yeah, it just feels like there's no urgency. At like 2-1 down with 30 minutes to go. If you remember the O'Neill days, Arsenal 2-0 down, 10 minutes up, Elliott goes up, we grab a goal. That's what sort of like changed the dynamic of the match. It's sort of like put the opposition 10 minutes of unease, and you can just grab a long throw, a flick on. You look at all 3 goals in that. I know it's 25 years ago, but all 3 goals in that Arsenal game were all because of flick-ons and long balls and corners. So as long as we score, it doesn't matter. It just feels like we've been 2-0 down to Middlesbrough, 2-0 down to QPR, both at home recently. And it just looked like there's no urgency. It feels like we're 4-0 up, like get away at Stoke. If you're passing it about, it's great when you're away and you're 4-0 up and you're having a right good time. But, Rodgers never had a plan A. Well, you win the FA Cup. Come on, we've got to give him some.
Lots. We're talking about plan Bs here, and again, I talked about the Burnley match yesterday and watching how Vincent Kompany was playing an Enzo start match. And obviously, Andy says in Man City yesterday show how this system should be played. Man City, I watched that game as well, and they were losing at home to Man United. But the big, massive difference with teams like Man City is the quality that they have on the bench. Locks, we are a bit short now. Sadie gone, injuries, Ricardo Pereira, Ndidi, Dennis Pratt. Square pegs, round holes, number 8 role. Are you expecting Enzo to try to change it up, or is he going to stick to the Enzo way?
I mean, I was listening to his post-match interview after QPR, and he did, he did say that, with all the injuries and stuff like that, and Cassidy leaving, especially with Ricardo, because obviously now Ricardo's recently moved into that advanced state role, and now he's injured. He said they have to find a solution, and whether Enzo's solution is then playing Tom Cannon in that role, or whether the solution is playing a different formation, I don't know. From what we've seen so far, it would sound like he's going to put another square peg in a round hole, because that's what he's tend to do. And I think it's a little bit harsh at times, because you look at Ndidi, a defensive midfielder by trade, for the whole time he's played for us. He's been put in that role, at the start of the season, and he has been one of the better players, and we've really missed him. We've not lost a game this season in which he's played more than 60 minutes or something like that. So that'll be a plus when he's back. But yeah, I think it's easy to say it when it works, it's good. When it doesn't, it doesn't. I think that's with pretty much every style of football. But it is clear now, after the 3 losses in a row, it's clear that something has to change. When we're at full strength, I'd trust us to beat anybody. But with this lack of players in that role, something has to change.
Nick Moore says here, move Nacho into midfield. He's more of a number 10 anyway. Will rumoured to be back this weekend as well. That would be for the whole game. Matt, let's just move slightly on to strikers this season. Obviously, we've got Daka, we've got Jamie Vardy, we've now got Kelechi Iheanacho back, we've got Tom Cannon there. Again, with playing one up front and not having a number 8, how would you, if you were the manager, Matt, what would you look to do tomorrow, and what do you think Enzo will do?
Well, he'll do what he's done all season. He'll play the same way. But if you remember the Coventry game, we were 1-0 down, and Kelechi came on. He linked it up from midfield to strikers really well, and I always think he does. He sort of like plays like a budget Harry Kane, I suppose. Hope that's not too much of an insult, but like he drops back and he's our best finisher. Kelechi Iheanacho is maybe Vardy, but I think Kelechi Iheanacho has got more finesse. If you look at some of his finishes, a lot of dinks, very good finisher. He takes penalties really well. I think if he got them chances that Daka got, the one chance, I think he'd have put it away and we win that game easily. But every game, the Middlesbrough game, we had 2 amazing chances. Leeds, we had 2 amazing. On Saturday, we had Dewsbury Hall miss a good chance. So I think if we go ahead, barring the Leeds game, that disaster, I think more often than not, I can't remember a time we've gone ahead and lost other than Leeds. I mean, I've not got the stats towards me, but I think it's about getting that first goal rather than a team getting something to defend and sit back on. That's we're the big team in this league. We're the Manchester City of this league, if you will. So everybody loves coming to Leicester, and if they get something to bite onto, it keeps their energy going because they've got something to cling on to, and it makes them want to win. Middlesbrough lost to Stoke 2-0 at the weekend. We battered them 5-0. So everybody's going to be up for a game against Leicester. So.
Yeah, some of them don't make sense. Gary says here, don't think he will change it, but midfield needs sorting. Got to be more positive in front of goal in here. John Tower says we've got 4 good strikers. Why not put 2 up top? Locks. This is my thing, is sometimes my logic as being a manager, Locks, is not that I know anything. I'm just a fan like you two are. But sometimes I've had to pick a Sunday morning pub side, which is not in any way comparing myself with Enzo at all. But sometimes I've had to look at the lads who have turned up, the lads you've got at your disposal, and go, well, we're gonna have to play this way because that's the best way that suits the players I've got there. Like John Towers said there, if he has got 4 strikers available, doesn't it make maybe some sense to look and go, I'm going to have to change the formation the tactics to suit what players I have got, because I've been unlucky and lost all these number 8s.
I mean, yeah, it's what we would do. Look, we've seen 2 strikers on the pitch many times throughout the season, but just as I said earlier, like the Cannon has been. I mean, Cannon was on the wing, was it against Middlesbrough in the later stages, and we've seen Iheanacho further back, and I think I don't. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that. I'm just saying I don't think Enzo will. I just think we have to accept it now. He won't do it. You know, people will call it stubborn. That's fair enough. I think he has his way of playing. He has his philosophy, if you like, of how he wants his team to play, and that does not involve 2 strikers up front, you know, playing together. So it's then kind of, you know, Iheanacho, I agree, by the way, Iheanacho should play in that advanced state role, I think. Out of the 4 strikers at the club, Iheanacho is probably the last one I want to play as a striker right now. I think Cannon, Daka, Vardy, the goals they've scored for us this season, they're above Nacho in that number 9 role at the moment. But you have to use the players you have available. We've lost players. We've lost Cassidy. We've lost players to injury, especially in that 8 role. And I think playing Iheanacho there with his kind of technical ability, because he has a decent amount of technical ability in terms of linking up play, I think that'd be perfect. And playing him behind Vardy, maybe, you know, Vardy ahead of him, I think that would work. But don't get me wrong, Ndidi's straight in that when he's back fit. But for now, I would choose Nacho. I would choose Nacho over McAteer or Cannon personally.
I've got a question coming up from Terence in a minute, and it links nicely. I'm plugging this Legends night for you, Matt. Here, just look at 3 of those people who are on that, and I'm going to mention Matt Elliott, Jerry Taggart, and Steve Walsh. And I think it's important to look at them, apart from being a plug for that great night. Those 3 centre backs, they offer not only defence, but they offer a massive amount of leadership on the pitch. And that is words that I've heard a lot, Matt, over the weekend about, don't we need somebody to lead us? Terence says here, the solution is start Cody and let's have a proper captain on the pitch. We talked, Matt, last year and this year about a leader on the pitch. We've just looked at Matt Elliott there, Steve Walsh and Jerry Taggart. Is Cody the leader we bought, and therefore the captain should be on the pitch?
Well, how good was he last week at Bournemouth? I mean, everybody played. That's the second string team. Go from front to back. It was second string, but they all worked the bums off. You know, it was, and Cody was amazing. Him and Vestergaard. I'd have Cody in over Fass every time. I think Fass is liable for a clanger. I mean, the thing that I noticed with the defence and stuff is we haven't got that much pace with the centre backs, and we do get caught up the pitch like we have done the last 2 home games with the QPR game and the Middlesbrough game. So is the lack of communication there? I don't know. I'm not a football manager, but I think get Cody on the pitch. I think he was brilliant last week. He was talking all the way through. And, you know, it's not that long ago. He was at a European Championships with England. You know, he hasn't played that many games in the last 3 years, whether that's to do with injuries. But I don't think there's that many miles on the clock. I mean, how old is he? 31, 32?
31, I think.
I mean, Locks, why have we bought Cody in the summer? Clearly captain type material. I hear the rumours are that he's fantastic in the changing rooms. He's fantastic on the bus. He gets a lot of team spirit going. He is, in effect, the new club captain by how he leads them off the pitch, but doesn't get any game time. And when the chips are down, you need leaders, don't you?
I'm going to make excuses for Enzo a little bit on this one. I think Enzo didn't expect Vestergaard and Fast to be as good as they were early on in the season, and they were undroppable. I think we can all agree they were undroppable at the start of the season. And to be fair, in the cameos that Cody made in that first half of the season, he wasn't great. He really wasn't.
No, I agree.
But after the Bournemouth game, he was exceptional. Agreed. And we did lack leaders on the pitch on the weekend. Even, you know, Vardy wasn't there. Ricardo, who's had the armband recently, he wasn't there. But 120 minutes, wasn't it, on against Bournemouth? You know, was he ready for another game against QPR? I don't know if that was the reason he didn't play. But for me, he has to play. he has to play this next game. Ben Nelson, I know he scored, and I get that. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think you can play him over Cody in terms of the experience, the leadership. I think he has to start the next game, and I think there'll be a lot of criticism from Leicester fans if he doesn't start, and we then go and get beat. I think there's serious questions then to Enzo.
And Locks Vestergaard's still suspended tomorrow, is he not?
Yeah, still suspended. Yeah, so he'll be back on the weekend. I think there were some people thought the cup game might have counted, but obviously he didn't. He played in that one, so it's a big miss. He's turned his Leicester career around. Whether he signs a contract or not, I don't know. But he's solid, absolutely solid at the back. Probably the best centre back in the league this season. So he comes straight back in when he's fit.
Again, Matt, somebody from the Facebook group here, I can't put his name up because it doesn't say, but I do understand this fan's view as well. Top of the league, 3 points clear with 11 games left. Would you have taken that at the start of the season? We all would. He is right, isn't he, Matt?
Well, not to keep dropping my mate in it, but I was speaking to Matt today, and I said that 23 teams would swap with us.
Yeah.
So, I think the whole point of getting a buffer is to use it. We've saw with all the teams this year, Southampton went 25 games unbeaten, then lost 3 out of 4 games. Leeds have gone 9 in a row and winning, then they've lost 1 and drew 1, one being a cup game. So, if it's time to go on our run with 11 games left, now's the time. We've had a dodgy run. We had a dodgy run with Middlesbrough and Leeds in the middle of the season. And Ebbo was panicking then. But now we've got 11 games to go. We're still the best team in the league. But the key is I work in, as you see from the back, I work in darts. And all the players are much of a muchness. They're all pretty much the same. But the one thing if you could buy it and instill them into them, is confidence. If you could put confidence into, it's a bit of a mess. You've cut it now, but it looked good now. If the one thing you could instill in darts players, is confidence, knowing you can do it or thinking you might be able to, are two different things. And when you've got 32,000 fans getting restless, getting a bit disruptive, causing a bit of tension if you go 1-0 behind, that's the difference with Man City in the Premier League, is nobody panics. I think we started to panic a little bit, and there's no need for it. But it's easier said than done to say don't panic or come on, play better. It's not as easy as that,
I like this comment. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. I do like this, although you did mention Matt, and you meant Matt Elliott, and Big Johnny goes, "Oh, football friends."
Johnny is one of my good friends, and he's been telling me to say silly things on the WhatsApp here. So, Johnny, I'm not going to say any of those things. Okay?
Oh, God, Johnny, you tell us what you want Matt to say, and we'll see if we can get him to do it. Locks, loads of comments coming in.
Other Cokes are available. So,
don't forget
like this one.
At the end of this show, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Leicester Legends. So if you do want to get those tickets, do stick around. And obviously, if you want to buy your tickets, there are still a few available.
Did you see my guys at the weekend all flying outside in the rain?
They got all wet, did they?
They got very wet. Yeah.
Flies would have helped. Here's a question for you, Locks. And again, I have to be careful that we don't just end up getting stuck in the past. But, Locks, I want to ask you a little bit about Fatwa and Mavididi. And Andy says here, play Albrighton on the right side of midfield. I'm a massive Mark Albrighton fan. I wonder if when the chips are down at the moment, whether Mr. Albrighton always gives you that 7, 8 out of 10 performance, never lets you down. Do we need a steady Eddie performance from somebody like Mark Albrighton tomorrow night? Or do you persevere with Mavididi, who seems to be up and down at the moment with his performances?
Well, the problem is, out of the two, Fatu and Mavididi, I'd say if you were going to drop one, it would have to be Mavididi. But then Fatu plays on the right, Mavididi's on the left. Fatu, I don't think is any good on the left, so then you're going to have to play Albrighton on the left. So he's played there. Obviously, he played there in the Premier League winning season. So. But I think Mavididi might need a drop, mate. I think Enzo said early in the season, throughout the season, really, that if players' levels drop, they will be dropped, and he needs to put his money where his mouth is. Mavididi hasn't been at it. Mavididi is very much a player that is either a 9 out of 10 or he's a 4 out of 10. And
Yes.
like you said, maybe it is all Brighton that we need. The steady 7 out of 10 every game. He'll put in a shift. He'll fight for the team. He will. And Vardy and all Brighton in a team sheet. What can go wrong with that? So I would agree that Mavididi, if anyone, does deserve a drop, mate. And you look at other players like Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall's been poor of late, in my opinion. But then you can't really replace him with anyone because we haven't got any 8s left. They're all injured. So you have an option there in Albrighton, and I think we probably should use it, definitely. But it goes against the Enzo sexy style of football, if you like. It goes against that, but we'll see if he makes the change.
Jason says here, I believe tomorrow's lineup will be completely different to Saturday's. Nick says he'd start Albrighton, always gives 110% and seems to dig out a pass or a cross when defenders are tight to him. Others need that yard and half a space before thinking about it. Joanna says, play anyone who can shoot and score. We need an out-and-out proven striker. Goals win games and points, not possession. Matt, we did create a lot of crosses into the box on Saturday, but there doesn't seem like anybody there at times to put it in. What are we going to do for tomorrow night to turn things around? Is it just is this where you need a manager to give a stirring pre-match talk, or is it just going to be stick to the plan, lads? Trust the process; it will come good.
Score the first goal and we win. Score the first goal and let them come at you, especially if you're away. Sunderland fans not going to be happy if you sit back. Got to score the first goal, really go hard in the first 15 minutes, score the first goal, and I think we win. I cannot think of us scoring the first goal 2 times. Coventry 10 men. I mean, look at both games where we scored the first goal. There's controversy in both. The red card that should have been for Cov, was ours a red card? Who knows? Controversy. Leeds, we're 2-0 up. We should be 2-0 up. At VAR's in, we're 2-0 up. We win the game 3 or 4-0. And they're the only 2 times, I think, people can correct me in the comments, but they're the only 2 times I can think where we've gone 1-0 up and lost the game. There's been times when we've drew the game, Ipswich, Sheff Wed, both times, but I can't think of us losing apart from those 2 games, and those were massively heaped in controversy.
You're right, by the way. You're so right, because I think the style of football suits scoring first, and then that team open up, basically. They open up, and then you've got a lot more space. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more with that.
Locks, then, before we wrap this up, what is your prediction for tomorrow night? What's your score prediction? And how nervous are you about tomorrow night's game?
Yeah, I think if we drop points, let alone lose, I think if we drop points, I think the title is probably going to go to Leeds, if I'm honest. I think I know they're still ahead of us if we draw, but I just think it's a slippery slope. I mean, we need to turn it around with a win. We have to, and we need to start building momentum back, in our favour. I just think, we're going to see tomorrow, and mate, I've been Enzo's biggest fan and biggest, backer since the start of the season. But tomorrow, this week, we find out whether Enzo is, I don't want to sound rude, not, harsh and say ready to be a manager, but he's going to prove what he, it's where he makes his bread, basically. You've lost 3 in a row. By the way, no championship team has ever lost 3 games in a row and won the championship. And he needs to turn things around quickly. So if he makes positive changes, I think we'll win. But if he keeps it similar to what it has been all season and for the last 3 games, I think we'll get a point only, mate. No more than that. So I'll say 2-1 in the hope that Enzo is going to change things around.
I think that's very sensible, Locks. Matt, I have to agree with a lot of what Locke says in the fact that I think this is where we start to see what Enzo is like as a manager. I had a little debate with somebody over the weekend saying you've got to give Enzo time and you've got to bear with him because he is learning how to be a manager. And I was a bit like, well, I'm not sure I am going to give him that much time to learn, because we've got one season in my books to get up, because next year, to not get up this year would be chaos. So I do hope he gets it right and we are all back in. But Matt, it is time for Enzo and the team to pull one out the bag, isn't it?
Well, just going back to the sport that I'm involved with again, obviously I look after a few players, and when everything's rosy and the sun's out and you're taking a nice stroll and everything's going the way, that's fine. It's when there's no confidence, you're in deep water with the players, you're playing well, you're going to events. That's when you sort of like have to be the motivator. And he's the one that, whether he might be panicking. He might be panicking inside. He might be crapping himself. He might be putting his pants. He might be thinking, we might not do this. But he can't show that. He has to show like personified, this is it. Because if he gives anything out, it's going to radiate to the players. And then the players will start feeling it. So he's been around the best manager in the world. So he'll know what to do. He'll know that. I mean, Pep's had 3 or 4 games where he's lost this season, and I'm sure he's the same calm. We keep going, and he needs to this is where he earns his money now to sort of like show a real confidence that nothing's going to change and we're going to win tomorrow. And I think we will win. I think we'll win 3-0 tomorrow.
3-0.
Yeah.
Who do you think will score those goals?
I don't know. He's playing, but. I'm going to think that Daka will probably start, will he? Maybe. I think Daka's got a good scoring record. The last few times, the games he's not. The last 3 games, obviously, it's been poor. But when he started, he's more often than not scored. I think Daka gets the first goal and we win comfortably 3-0. But if we remember the game in October, where we won 1-0 on the TV cameras, we were lucky to win. But I've Sunderland had the fight took out of them. I don't know where they are in the league. I think about 10th, 11th.
Yeah, mid-table. They're not on a great run either. Right, Locks. I'm going to let Locks go, and then we're going to give these tickets away. So thanks a lot, Locks, for joining us. We'll see you later in the week.
Good to meet you, Locks.
Cheers, guys. Yeah, cheers, guys. See you soon.
Right. Thank you for that, Locks. Oh, do you know what?
Oh, you got me the wrong
wrong
let me
person.
just get a couple of things.
He's gone to get a couple of things. I'll let him go and get a couple of things. So, right, we are going to give away 2 tickets, and they are the VIP tickets to Matt's event, which is, just to remind you all, this event is a week on Friday. It's the Leicester Legends. There's Matt Elliott, Emil Heskey, Muzzy Izzet, Martin O'Neill, Jerry Taggart, Steve Walsh. We've been sharing the link to it all. So if you do want to go to that, we're going to be down there. We're going to be really looking forward to it. So if you do want to go and treat yourself to a ticket, but we're going to give 2 tickets away now. Matt, are you back with us?
I'm back. These ain't bags of Chris. These are fantastic retro t-shirts. We've got loads of them. These are the top tier tickets that people bought, £275. You get like a meet with the guys upstairs for 45 minutes before the event starts, and you get a signed shirt as well, blue and white available. And also I've been buying a lot of these. Division 1 playoff final, Derby County. They're hard to find. And we've got the 1996 one and the Coca-Cola Cups and the Worthington Cup ones up there. So we're going to get them signed. There's going to be lots of things to buy on the night. Riyad Mahrez, Jamie Vardy, championship winning squad shirt, which I've got above me. I don't know if I can get my camera, but the whole squad has signed it. That's going to be auctioned off. We've got a surprise on the night as well. We've got an extra player which I've not announced, which people don't know about.
Are you keeping that one quiet?
Keeping that one quiet. We've sold enough tickets. Like I say, this is a labour of love.
Yeah.
I'm sparing no expense. We've got big screens. We've got pyro. We've got VTs. We've got everything. We've got the best MC in darts coming over to football. We've got Ian Stringer doing the interview. We've got everything that every Leicester fan would want, and we are looking forward to welcoming everybody to the Mattioli Arena now, formerly the Morningside.
Yeah, it's changed. It is a week on Friday. It's March the 15th. So tickets are available. Either scan that QR code, and we'll share the link in there as well very, very shortly. Matt, we're going to give 2 away now. So I'm going to keep it very nice and simple. So if people do want to win this, what we're going to do is I'm going to give them about 60 seconds to get an answer in and see what they can do. So the question I've got, unless you've got a good one, is I was going to do, what year did Martin O'Neill come to Leicester? So the event is all about the Martin O'Neill era. And we want to know what year, put it in the comments now, what year did Martin O'Neill join Leicester City as manager?
That's a tough question, actually, that is. There'll be a few that get that wrong.
Have as many go in the comments as you want, and I'm going to quickly just scroll through all the comments at the end and pick one at random. So if you are watching this and you want to come to that for free, you've got one chance now to get yourselves a ticket. So,
2-course meal as well. Free photo with all 7 legends now on the stage. So, you know, you get two-course meal. No need to eat that night, Friday night. Tell your missus you haven't got to cook. You know, I'm going to the football.
So it should be a great night. Yeah, you're doing a Q&A with it as well.
We're good. Oh, hopefully. It depends how long the guys talk for.
Well, I've seen some of them before. I mean, I think what the rarity of what you've pulled off here is getting so many legends at one event, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah. I mean, it was, yeah. I mean, I don't think I've seen O'Neill and Heskey at many. The other 4 still live in Leicester, do a lot for the club. So I don't think that's together. They're not something that nobody's seen. I don't think O'Neill and Heskey have been together. I know O'Neill is looking forward to seeing the guys. I know he's going to stay over and have a chat with the guys after. So that's good to see, especially for me, like growing up with that era. So
yeah, indeed. So we've got literally 20 seconds left. If people want to make sure they have a go, what year did Martin O'Neill join Leicester City in there? I hope to goodness I've got the right year here, Matt, but I'm going to pick somebody.
I'd Google it because I think it's close.
It is. What a great era it is. If I was to get you to pick one of your favourite memories of that era, is there one that stands out? Just one.
The Arsenal game.
More than a playoff, the Arsenal game.
Yeah, the playoff 96, obviously, no one, but the Arsenal game lives in the memory for some reason. I don't know what it is. It just lives long in the memory. It really does.
I think was the Arsenal game not like celebrated the other week? Was it not? Was it 30 years ago or something? I don't know. Or 25 years ago.
26.
Oh, is it? Right.
I was there.
Yeah, I was there. It was a fantastic, and that's some of what I miss in what we're seeing under Claude Puel, under Brendan Rodgers, under Enzo. Is that thing that I always felt, even if we're 2-0 down with 5 minutes to go, as an old Leicester fan, there was always a chance that Leicester could do it, could come back. Well, but I don't feel that anymore.
Even with the Ranieri era, the Nigel Pearson era, it was like we had a Joa who you could lump up to.
Yeah,
you know, it was just like, I mean, obviously managers have philosophies, don't they? But I don't, like you say, O'Neill had a philosophy, but it didn't stop him from whacking Elliott up front or Walsh up front and going for it. Oh, Fulham, 3-3 Fulham. That game lives memory as well. When Walsh gave the ball away and Horsfield scored, and then he scored that volley at the Cop. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, another one we were behind, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were 2-0 behind. 2-0 and 3-2. Chris Coleman scored, then Marshall scored an equaliser, and we won 3-0 on penalties.
Yeah, it is that fighting spirit. It's that Foxes never quit, isn't it? Right, everybody's had a go. Thank you for having a go. I have put the link in there, and I will share it again in there. Now, I can see everybody who's had a go, so thank you so much for that. Here is the link. I've put it in there. If you're not that, I've picked a name here. I've done it at random. I literally... on my side thing, I scroll up and I can see all the comments. So you just have to trust me because we've done this live with Matt. The winner is Andy Medhurst. And actually, that's quite appropriate because Andy Medhurst has watched this for years and commented, but it was totally at random. So, Andy, I know you'll still be watching. Make sure you drop me a DM or whatever, or I'll contact you. But Andy has watched for years and I've just picked him at random. The year was 1995. I should have asked you, Matt.
December.
Yeah. So And obviously, with O'Neill, it wasn't the greatest of starts because there was that protest in the COP and all sorts, wasn't there, Matt?
Sheffield United at home, we lost 2-0. And Muzzy is its debut.
What Muzzy is its debut?
And they came out after wanting him out. The week after, Charlton away, 1-0. Palace away. Claridge scored his first ever goal. Then we went on a run. I think we lost one game, which was West Brom at home. And that was Van der Laan or something, or I can't remember. Snakers, Richard Snakers, top corner, stuck in the stanchion. I remember it. I've got a real good memory. I need to put it to something better use than useless football knowledge.
Well, finally, thanks again for joining us, Matt. I think everybody is now well aware of the event. I've shared the link. It is there. One final push. If you want to join us down there, a lot of the Leicester Fan TV crew are going to be there. Thanks to Matt and all his guys. Can't wait for it, mate. So thanks for joining us.
Looking forward to welcoming you there. And I'm meeting with Dave at the venue next Monday and Wednesday to go over everything. And we'll be giving some tickets away to the darts as well. The Armageddon. We've sold 1,400 tickets for that.
Fantastic. That's in May, isn't it?
Got that there. Look, there you go.
There you go. So hopefully
May the 17th. Yeah.
Fantastic. We look forward to that as well. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you on Friday if I don't see you at the match before.
Fantastic. Thanks, buddy.
Cheers, Matt. So that's Matt giving away 2 tickets to Andy Madhurst. Andy, look forward to meeting you down there. We'll be down there. I think you're sitting on our table, mate. So I'll buy you a pint even. How about that? It just gets better. You'll have to hold me to that now. I've said it. Anyway, listen, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for joining us. Keep the faith tomorrow night. If we're up there, we'll see you up there. If you're watching it on telly, try and enjoy it. I think we've got to watch it on going along. And of course, we've got loads of live content this week going out on Leicester Fan TV. Listen, if it wasn't a roller coaster, it wouldn't be Leicester City, would it? We all knew this was probably what's going to happen. In a way, we feel better because it's all going a bit chaotic, isn't it? It was too easy. Who wanted an easy journey back to the Premier League? No. See you next time.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everards, Barlow Blinds, Pukka Pies, Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hollogram, Take Me, Newby Co, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and videos.